Good evening, welcome to the November 2nd, 2015 meeting of the Open Space Committee. Our meeting is being broadcast live tonight and it will be taped for rebroadcast. Is anyone else taping the meeting? All right then, the first item on the agenda is a continuation of our efforts to look at, thank you Mr. Benoit, is our continuation of our efforts in looking at open space parcels owned by the town. Now, as I understand it, we're getting into the larger parcels now, is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. So now these we're gonna like hang on to and not give anything away. I'm just kidding, I'm just teasing. All right, so I think we're at Drake Court and I'm gonna rely on you to help me with that, Eric.
Sure. So, got it up on the screen for reference. Drake Court actually is just below this parcel down here. This parcel doesn't front on Drake Court. And we've got railroad tracks to the east of it, then a set of houses in Rotary Beach, Rochdale Street area. This parcel next to it is owned by New England Power. So this looks like some backland. Significant acreage, 46 acres of land.
That no one can get to.
It's landlocked, huh?
It's totally landlocked.
As it
That's odd.
stands.
So shaky.
These neighboring parcels back here are all landlocked.
How did we come to acquire this? Was it by tax title?
Let's see what we can find out. So it looks like it was previously owned by the train station. The train company, Penn Central. And we acquired it in 1986. It looks like by sale.
So we bought it.
Yes, for $10,000.
That's a bargain compared to South Old Road.
That's for sure.
But it's landlocked.
If no one can get to it.
So is South Old Road for all intents and purposes.
No, there's a road.
It's South Old Road.
It's got a road. It's not a paved road, but it's a road. This
Yeah.
doesn't even have a,
Oh. See?
bless you.
Thank you.
Walk in there from the railroad tracks.
You
That
could.
wouldn't be real safe.
No, that would not be it. What?
So,
The
can
same
you tell
one?
anything about the topography?
I believe this is a hill back here. Let's see. Pull up the contour.
But unfortunately, if it's landlocked, unless we got something else, you can't even access it for to make trails or anything without trespassing.
So it's relatively flat by the tracks, but it looks like it's got a pretty quick incline.
Are those inactive tracks now?
No,
Those are real, I think. The Tin Bridge.
very active.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I
both.
wonder why the heck they would have sold their right away though.
Well, they didn't sell the right away. You can see where the tracks are.
And the right of way is here.
But
So
why would they, I wonder why they
They don't
would've
need it.
sold-
So it's CSX.
It's
Exactly.
CSX and it's Amtrak.
The Amtrak. Oh, okay. So they're daily.
There's very regular traffic on that line.
But there's no way to get there.
So it's good open space. It's not useful for people. Just let the deer and the...
Antelope play.
Antelope.
I wasn't gonna go there, but...
It was just there.
Couldn't help it. You just kind of left it hanging there.
But this, man, does anyone know why I got landlocked? Why you, all the acreage?
Couldn't say.
So it's flat by the tracks, but a hill on the back.
Yeah. Heavily wooded.
So,
Drake Court has no room for frontage.
what's the zoning district there? We don't have any frontage anyway, so.
We don't. It is RR. There's an open lot on Drake. That's privately owned, but it doesn't even touch our land. Yeah, it's literally just
Had to buy somebody's house.
a landlocked
Yeah.
parcel.
Yeah, I don't, because of the hill, it's pretty steep in there.
Yeah, and there's not, you could do it, if there were, say, an easement, you could throw like a loop trail back there, but it's not like there's a destination,
Right.
so.
I'm personally, in the interest of safety, I think you don't wanna be doing stuff near
With
a
the
railroad,
railroad.
because there's just too much of a chance of a
Yeah.
problem.
Right.
Leave that one for Mother Nature.
Yeah,
Sure.
whatever creatures are living there.
Okay. We've got a 45-acre parcel. This is Packagug Street. This actually is just below Pappas and next to the Worcester Diversion Channel.
Next to the channel itself?
Underneath it.
So it's just southeast of the cornfields here.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the diversion channel.
Oh, okay.
Here's Pappas Recreation. And there's our South Hole Road property. Matt has been leading the way out on a trail network that is proposed for this area.
Yep.
And we have found existing trails in this
Probably
in this
the old
area.
farm trail, cart paths.
I would imagine old car paths. There's a
Yep.
sewer easement that goes through there that the DPW maintains. You can actually connect down here somewhere and just walk right in and right across. So
That does not abut anything else, it's a standalone parcel.
it is, yes, it's a standalone. It's landlocked.
That's Route 20 there,
This is 20 here.
Yep, with the diversion channel.
and then is that Pike? That curve
Probably.
left to right?
It
This,
is.
Yeah.
that's an easement for New England Power.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, here, this is the housing park. So, what's
I
that?
didn't realize we had a separate parcel back here.
Yeah, that's,
Did you? Yeah.
In doing, I'm curious if this was, do you remember the open space plan was referencing called Grace Cutting Park?
Yeah, oh, maybe that's what that is?
You know,
Do you remember what it was?
I couldn't know for sure, but
In the cornfields. It could be part of that could be the area for Grace Cutting Park.
Yeah, because it was,
Yeah.
that was given to the town but never developed, right?
Now, is that landlocked
Yeah.
also?
Yep,
it is.
45 acres.
wow,
Yeah,
big parcel.
but
Did it say
that,
how long, can you tell how long we've had that?
our trail network is gonna connect right to it, so
To that?
there's, I think, a good amount of potential for hiking.
Passive rec.
Yeah, passive rec. We acquired it in 1960
That's probably what it is.
for a zero price.
Yeah. Now,
And the note
you-
says conservation on it.
I'm wondering if there's any kind of restrictions on what can be done with it.
Could certainly look into that.
Yeah, because sometimes people they might donate something, but it's to be used for a specific purpose.
we could attempt to look at the
The deed?
deed record now if the group's interested, or we could do that another, I could do that.
I'd be interested to see. Will it take long?
There's sometimes, when we use that page on the good days or on the right property, it's great. And sometimes it's tricky.
Oh, the registry of deeds?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had, sometimes it works and sometimes.
I know.
I thought it was me, but
No. So booking page 04156. 04156. Page 0541. All right. No results. I don't understand why that happens. Yeah, so the easiest method is just not pulling up the record for whatever reason, so we can do some
do
digging on that.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I would definitely check into that, but 1960 sounds like, do you think so, Louise? I think that sounds like the right time.
It could be his.
Okay.
55 years ago.
Yeah, Matt had made a note on our list that that's included in our walking trails. I don't know that he's done the deed research.
Yeah.
Follow up with that. Any other notes there? Okay. This is a landlocked parcel.
Where is this one?
Oxford Street South is what we read on our description. It's 37 acres, and this looks like the Granger Ledges here.
There's another landmark parcel. That's 3 in a row.
Well, these are the ledges, correct? This sharp contour.
Yeah.
I do believe Granger Cliffs. The next parcel also has the note Granger Cliffs. It says with frontage, so I'd be curious if it abuts this. I'm just gonna type in the number to see. 612. Okay. So there's some skinny parcels in between. So the town owns this parcel here, just behind the Home Depot. It's got a little piece of frontage up on Route 20. It looks like a little bit of frontage on Oxford Street. It owns 35 acres. And then it also owns, this is the one that we were just looking at. So it's 37 acres, this L shape. And there's this really narrow parcels right in between them.
That we don't own.
Yeah. Let's see what that's all about. Whitetail Run.
Whitetail Run. Whitetail Run development, right?
We
Yeah,
don't
what was that, Jim? Whitetail Run.
call Jim.
Paul Jim, yes.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's quite a ways out then, isn't it? Yeah. Red Tail Run. So he just has that narrow little strip in between.
So there's a house, it looks like on Prospect Street, and then this narrow strip goes straight across. It's almost as if they intended a
road.
road or something at one point.
How wide is that narrow little strip?
Let's see if I can get those tools. It's not showing me the measure tool for some reason. But it looks about, based on this scale, about 50 feet.
50 feet.
Maybe
Isn't that what you need?
75 or so.
50 foot for a right of way?
For right away, yes.
Seems narrow.
Yeah, but not if you were planning on using it for a road.
Right.
Is he a lot wider than that?
Not if it was just gonna be a road.
Just a plain road, yeah.
So, so there, I don't know. What does the group think about this? This land here, this land here.
There's one more too.
Did you see another?
Yeah,
Says one of
two more down, 3 of 3. Prospect Street.
Prospect Street. 67-2.
So there's 3 parcels on Prospect. Maybe Whitetail Run would donate the strip.
Or, oh, okay. So that L hugs this. So the town's got this
That,
large block there.
yeah.
And this, yeah, with the strip separating the two. Here, if there were.
Where is the windmill site?
Windmill is, I believe it's on this parcel. It comes straight back off here.
Mm-hmm.
Could be, who owns this? It's on town land. Yeah, so Cliff owns that. So it's gonna be on one of these 2 parcels. It's at the top of the cliffs. You might be able to zoom in and see the site.
Not too far from Home Depot, isn't it?
No, it's not. Yeah, that clearing, I believe, is the tower.
So that tower is on one of those parcels because it's on town land.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's right here.
Yeah, that would make sense because that's the top, towards the top.
Right.
That's not the land they were looking at to build the school, is it? Behind Home
There's
Depot?
parts of it, I think.
I didn't think it went over that far. No?
I don't know, I'm just asking.
I'm not sure.
I can't remember just where it was now.
Maybe it
Think,
does.
Mark?
I think so. Yeah, it was part of Grange Lynch. It's going to be great, yeah.
Rachel Lynch.
Yeah.
That's the name out of the past.
Yeah.
So, and they didn't cite it because of the ledges, I would assume.
That was a big part of
It
it.
seems like a
Yeah, that's
tough
what I meant.
spot to
A lot of
go.
wetlands have been here.
Well, you know, since that is technically not accessible, although the town worked something out to get the vehicles in there for the tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that
you gotta run away
crossing.
from Home Depot or something, I think.
Yeah, but I mean,
It does.
They did the fight for that. didn't they?
The access path does come right off the back.
right. But somehow you have to cross that narrow strip. It's not town.
Which is not ours.
And the area to the west of this, I understand, has been donated to the Worcester Land Trust by Cliff. Mr. Granger donated that.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. Some, I don't know what parcels are in there that were donated, but there is, considering that that area is landlocked, not accessible, again, it's great, just plain open space, especially if it abuts property
That's in a trust.
that's in a trust.
And I do know that planning department had early conversations with the Audubon and with Greater Worcester concerning the proximity of our land to that land trust land. So,
Well,
Do you know what the substance of the conversation was?
I think it was in the vein of, you know, partnering together for whether it be preservation or passive recreation. I know the land trust does a lot of trails,
Yeah.
maintains a lot of trails on their land if they can get access.
now the parcel that actually abuts Home Depot is not terribly hilly,
No.
according to that. Again, that might be a decent location if we need to put a field somewhere. If, you know, with the cooperation of Home Depot and BJ's. No one ever parks it
Well,
in
this-
the parking lot anyway.
This back lot is always, like you said, it's always available. Yeah.
We have a great opportunity to partnership on something.
Yeah, it would be.
67002.
So you think it's flat enough for a field?
It's 35 acres.
It's certainly a hill.
Yeah.
How steep of it? Do you move dirt around?
I thought, the way Adam Byrne talked about it, I thought it was pretty steep back there. I've never been up, but the way he talked about
Well,
it.
once you get beyond that parcel, it definitely
Then it picks
gets a
up.
lot steeper.
Yeah, that initial grade isn't
As bad?
terrible.
I mean, I'm thinking of that, if you look at that highlight and come down, you know, the access to Route 20, but actually to the west of that access, it's not terribly steep. I mean, certainly if we dealt with the Pappas Recreation,
We could deal
we
with
could
this.
deal with something like that if we needed to do it.
And how much area does a field require? Do you know? And
A soccer field is,
Don't they use the football fields for that? How's that?
well, they do, but the football field is actually narrower than a soccer field. So it's 100 and, it's at least 100 yards by, I want to say 60. And I could be wrong, sorry, I've been out of it for a little while.
Sorry.
But, you know, it's not a small amount of property. That's for a full-size field. Our needs are, from what I've gathered, are maybe more in terms of some of the smaller kids. And when the new middle school was built, there is a field there, a full-size field, but they lost a U10 field that used to be right behind the Randall School building. So there may be some needs for some smaller spaces versus bigger spaces.
make a note of that. And, you know, if the town had access, and there were fields, just like we have at Pappas, we're sending some trails right off the back of the fields into, you know, that otherwise inaccessible open land. You know, I know that this is sensitive area. Greater Worcester Land Trust says, because it's, I guess, a rare formation, they feel that a sensitive area. But if it were maintained well.
Yes, I'm not sure what they took over. Obviously, it's more towards Prospect Street, but
Right.
Closer to his house.
yeah, his house is part of it. But my understanding is he can live there for as long as he wants, and his son can live there as long as he wants, or something like that.
Okay.
So there's, I mean, they cut these deals that are,
Long
know,
range.
yeah, very, very long range. But I mean, that cliff formation is definitely a an oddity in this part of the country.
Okay, any more comments on these three?
No, anybody have anything? So we're basically gonna try to leave them open, maybe do some partnering or something? Is that what you're saying?
It's just a thought.
Yeah, it's a thought, yeah, we just leave open space or make a soccer field or do something.
But if you did that, right? Now, you're talking about using the parking at BJ's and Home Depot, right? Now,
That's a possibility.
right, but I'm just thinking, now you're in the planning department, you'd probably know, and Dan probably would know, there's certain numbers of parking spaces required based on, what, the size of the business? Is that what it is?
Yeah, the area and type of business.
So, is the parking spaces that are there, how would that impact it if you know, look at the parking that you've got going on at the Pappas Rec site.
Mhm.
You know, do you have any idea what we're talking about for, I mean, is it too soon to talk about that? Because I'm just wondering, like, how would that impact the parking that's
Right.
required at BJ's and Home Depot?
Yeah, certainly would have to be taken into consideration.
Right. And maybe that's something you guys can look into when you have some time to.
Yeah.
I'm simply saying that because when you go through that parking lot, yes, the center of that lot, you know, in the first 40, 50 feet of parking from
Yep.
both of those buildings is packed.
Mhm.
But
On the
that
outskirts?
end, there's rarely anybody there, maybe some employee parking. And it would have to be totally cooperative
Right.
with those
Right.
businesses. And I'm not, they may not be interested in that, but sometimes there's a way to do something that's a partnership and help
Yeah.
everybody
Right.
out, you know?
It may be something that you just kind of have to keep talking to someone about because, you know, they might be concerned about liability issues and
Mhm.
safety and they don't want to take responsibility for, you know, children being there and stuff, you know. But we're talking, you know, probably putting the cart before the horse.
Hmm.
All right, so is that what we're gonna leave that one on and the planning department's gonna look more into that? That would- Actually, it's three. Those three
yes.
parcels, right?
Right.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't see the other two being developed, which is, except for maybe for something like passive recreation. I think
Right.
that would be a great use for that property.
Yeah.
Well, I wish we could get that long skinny piece in between.
That would change the world, but
Yeah, that's an
But what
odd.
good is a long skinny piece?
You know who owns it?
Yeah.
You can talk to them, you just sell it.
Well,
All right, well, for the time being, we're gonna leave those three parcels kind of clumped together and the planning department will look more into options there, right?
yeah.
Back to Cemetery Road, right?
Okay.
Yeah, no way.
Cemetery Road land, it says.
Now which,
Trying to get my bearings.
Is that the one off of Stafford Street?
yes.
So it actually starts in Worcester.
in Worcester,
then.
that's, that
Worcester, is
one.
that Worcester or West?
Stafford Street's Worcester, isn't it?
Is it
Yeah.
Worcester? That's probably Worcester.
Might be.
It starts.
So it starts in Worcester and then comes into
It's in
Auburn?
It depends, it depends where on Stafford Street, because it does become Leicester at some point there.
Right, right.
So there's Stafford Street. Okay, starts Cemetery Road, comes off Stafford, and down into. Alright. Down into town.
And that narrow strip coming from the top, no, not, go over to the next narrow strip.
This.
That's the railroad right away, I'm pretty sure.
So we got power, we've got.
Pretty sure that's railroad, but
Yeah. You
yeah.
can see the tracks there. There's a cemetery there, obviously. And then it's just. What an odd shaped.
It is,
I wonder
huh?
what those holes are all about.
Yeah.
Isn't that peculiar, huh?
Yeah.
That'd be worth some examination just to see why. It's pretty
Tiny
steep.
little things, but
So that's this Fuller Street in the middle, still owned by the town of Auburn.
Oh, that's interesting.
Auburn Terrace. I don't know, that's weird. It's essentially all Auburn land.
it is pretty bizarre.
Yeah.
Probably different times that the land became acquired or something, I would guess. But
And that's very steep, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
it's pretty steep in there.
So we're looking
The
steep.
contrast look pretty.
It does have frontage on the Cemetery Road here. So I wonder if there's a potential to access for, I don't know.
Anything.
Yeah.
Well, Cemetery Road, as it exists today, is barely drivable.
Is
I
it-
was just gonna ask you if it was
Yes, I
a
mean,
regular.
I was up there in June, I think it was. Ken Ethier did a talk about the rock crusher that's up there. And we actually were advised to come in Havana Road, which is the next one, road
Oh.
towards Worcester. And that's bad, but Cemetery Road is,
So-
it's a virtual pothole.
Is it a dirt road?
Yeah, pretty
Oh, it
much. I mean, I
is?
think it was, I'm not saying that it didn't have some pavement on it in parts, but it's bad.
Are there any houses on it? Anybody
Yes,
live on it?
there are houses on it.
And they put up
It's a
with
dirt
that?
road, wow.
Wow.
It must
Go
be-
up, you know,
It must be, is it a private road?
I don't know if it's private or public,
Yeah, it doesn't seem-
but it starts in Worcester, so it's not,
Yeah.
I wonder if the town plows it.
probably do.
Yeah?
'Cause in fact, there's a house way down on Cemetery Road,
There is.
surprisingly so.
Do you think it's like a maintenance house?
No, it's a big house. It's,
Really?
yeah, with a pool and, 5-car garage or something. It's a very big piece of property.
Huh.
When I walked by it this summer, I was absolutely shocked. I'm sure the land was dirt cheap,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not exactly an area that's,
Not real friendly.
no. Plus it's, you've got the Hebrew cemetery there and the Jewish cemetery. I think there's 2 different cemeteries that are there in that area. Not that makes that much difference, but there certainly are in there.
Yeah, they're tucked way down in there.
Is it open space maybe?
Yeah, we could just mark it as open space for now. We do have this section, includes this as well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So, are we thinking just to leave it as open space?
See, I personally don't think it's good for much more than that.
Yeah, okay.
all right. Next one we know is bonded for municipal open space, right? Municipal use.
What's the,
It's the largest parcel on the South Hold Road land purchase.
oh, yes.
So,
Municipal use for the next 10 years,
mhm.
at least.
So we could probably pass on that for now. Unless you guys wanna.
Well, remember when we were just trying to decide to make a recommendation on that? We had asked the selectmen if we could at some point in the future make a recommendation on potential uses, types of like passive recreation uses or something. Is that something you want to do now? You want to postpone it?
Personally, I think if we, since there's probably nothing that's going to happen there quickly,
We could go through our list and then make
then
recommendations.
go back.
about it.
Yeah, because I think that's really, we had some great potential uses for that. And most of them were passive recreation, and some of that's being developed. So let's see where that goes.
Yeah.
And then go back to it.
All right, so we'll kind of put that on hold then for now.
I think so.
Yeah, that trail network is gonna link right there.
The only thing with the trail is make sure it's handicap accessible. That's the big thing.
Yep. I agree.
Or rope system, whatever. Like the what's that place off of Sullivan Road there? Oh, that.
Who's that?
The place up off Sullivan Road,
Oh,
the nature place up there.
Audubon
Yeah, they,
location.
Broad Meadow?
right, yeah, that's it. Probably, no, they've got like a rope system. It's like a little round knobs that tells you. You also use your cell phone too. It's set for the vision impaired.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Handicap accessible also means you feel wheelchair.
Yeah, all,
You know.
what caps
ADA
is not
compliant.
a chunk of it.
Yeah, and that was probably a terrain issue there. I mean, it's just the place where the steps are, it just drops off so steeply that
They probably could.
I don't think you could possibly do it without,
Yeah, they could.
you need a switchback.
I think just put a sign
Yeah.
or something.
There may be portions of the trail that could meet those standards.
Mhm.
All right.
Alright, so I think, I don't know if this is exactly the former landfill, but it's certainly one of those access points.
Rochdale Street.
Mm-hmm. It's frontage
Same
on,
point then.
yeah, frontage right on Rochdale and abuts the larger landfill portion, former landfill portion.
So which one are we looking at?
This one here, the one to the left.
Okay.
Does it have a number?
335.
And it has access right on to Rochdale.
Yep. Yeah, abuts it for a good while. 12.25 acre. Not sure what this is back here.
Now isn't there a, isn't that where the shooting range is, what do you call it?
I know the police, they do have a shooting range up there, but I don't know
Where it is?
where it is.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
There's also a communication tower up there someplace too.
I'm not sure if it's restricted because of the landfill. Use restrictions.
No. It was not part of the landfill itself, right?
That I'm not. I honestly am not sure.
It says on the sheet, former landfill.
Does it say for? Oh, okay. In the
On this
note.
12.
On this chart,
12.25?
on this chart, it says 335 Rochdale Street, former landfill, 2 of 2.
The
So-
note does say town landfill.
So then you couldn't,
And the first one was 339 Rochdale, we did that one last meeting.
You know, the open spaces is curious about investigating potential for solar development on the Catch landfill.
Right, as mentioned.
you can put the solar panels on top of the landfill, that's okay?
Yeah, that is, as long as the landfill is inspected and there's a use permit issued by the state specific for a solar farm. It's happening all across the state.
On top of landfills?
Mm-hmm.
After a number of years, it's supposed to be okay to use the, I don't know what the deadline is though, I don't know what
Yeah,
the
those are
recommended
the,
years are.
That's the type of research that the Open Space Committee, Energy Committee is looking to
Oh,
investigate.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what we can say about this yet without knowing a lot more about that whole parcel.
Right.
Well, especially if the energy committee is looking at it for a solar farm,
Right,
we
right.
probably need to have a dialogue or something at some point.
Mm.
Put it on hold maybe?
So, what sort of info would Open Space be interested in?
To me, when you look at that, not just that parcel, but the ones that abut it, the whole, quote, landfill property is what can be done, you know,
Right.
what are
Actually,
permitted
yes.
uses,
Yep.
what's the access. I'd love to know what that stuff is in the lower right-hand corner of that property that looks like a parking lot or something. Can't really tell.
In here?
No, but in that parcel right there. You had it zoomed up, but you can't really tell what it is.
You really can't.
If that's the area that the police department's using, then that's what they're doing,
That's what the use is, right?
you know?
Yeah.
It's a funny looking site.
Well, quite a long time ago, there'd been some talk about putting recreational fields on top of the capped landfill.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of parents were concerned
nervous.
about, oh shoot.
toxic gases.
Yeah, methane gas, I think they said.
Now, I haven't been up there, but is the cap got vents for methane and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's got those monitoring wells.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been back there either. I do understand that the DPW maintains the cap.
Yeah.
And this is a storage area for their vehicles.
Yeah, the old garage.
Equipment. Yeah. So these Bing photos don't show that, whatever that was.
No.
Just dirt mountains.
Could always make walking trails. No, where'd you park? That's the only thing.
But yeah,
Walking trails and
Well, plus there's a firing range going on.
that's nothing too. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so let's go a long ways, right?
Yeah, so long as it's safe for people,
Right.
you know.
Cross country.
It is the nice thing about a solar farm.
It doesn't matter.
It just, yeah, you mow it and
It sits there.
exactly. It can generate revenue.
And if they put it in there, nobody would be looking at it either.
And yeah,
It would,
that's how they're
yeah.
Because they're not exactly really pretty.
they're not the prettiest sight.
yeah,
Unless you just think
they're everywhere now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pop, yeah, they pop,
And yeah,
pop all over the place.
I mean, I think that's a great use for that site if the circumstances are right.
Yeah.
And I know that there's a lot of net metering issues and so forth that,
With the caps or approaching the caps.
yeah, so,
so maybe that's something that, you know, if the energy committee is looking at it, then maybe we could follow up with them
Mhm.
to see what information they develop,
Mhm.
you know. I mean, maybe they'll find that it's not suitable for a solar farm,
Yeah.
you know, and we'll have to try to figure out something else.
Mhm. Absolutely.
I wonder if you could make it into a 9-hole golf course. They thought about that one time.
Oh,
That was on the committee a long time ago.
that's
Discussing.
a pretty interesting concept.
yeah, especially at this particular time.
Cross country skiing.
Might be illegal.
You need money to do stuff like that, so.
Yeah.
Wow.
Holland
Yeah.
does love its golf
Which
though.
this town doesn't have much of right now.
No, and that's the other reality is that, you know, it's great to talk about doing trails, but even walking trails cost.
It's a lot of
cost
money. And then you gotta maintain them afterwards, you know?
Yeah. Mhm. It is true.
It's hard.
Okay. So
Okay, where to next?
730 Oxford Street.
Oxford Street South?
Yes. So, to make the whole thing.
yeah, let's.
That's quite a ways out, I think.
Okay. This is interesting. So this is our land and it actually abuts that L shape that we were looking at earlier.
Mhm.
So we have frontage on Oxford Street South, that square, and then a narrow strip that goes to this backland here.
And that's very steep.
Yeah, that's the base of the ledges. But
It's kind of interesting looking at it from this perspective, seeing where the parcels
yeah,
are in relationship to each other.
that's true. You could, who knows? Maybe you could put it's flat. Just put a parking lot
Let people go rock climbing.
and then yeah, go back if there
Yes, yeah.
if there is a trail network back here at some point in time. That's potential.
That'd be a good place for a parking area, wouldn't it?
Yeah, on the far side, and if we worked out something with Home Depot for this side, you know.
This,
Possible parking area.
What does the group think?
great idea. Well,
It's not, sounds good.
Well, parking is definitely something that you've got to have with these ideas for trails and any other passive recreation uses. That's been a problem, you know. So to me, if something like that, it's probably something long range, but something to keep in the back of your mind.
Right. Any more comments on this?
you get a parking lot?
Possibly.
Okay, so this is more of that land that abuts the Pappas Recreational Complex, or at least that property. So this is just west of the cornfields.
Is this what's left of the Packagug Meadows?
It looks. Now, was Packagug Meadows the cornfields? That was my assumption.
Is part of it. There was
Part
like
of it.
80 something acres
Okay. Yeah.
that
So
was left.
we've got the cornfields here, and then the town owns this.
Yeah.
There's a paper street that comes down the middle, and the town owns this. This is actually where you can access that trail. You can come in off this road, right down
Is that cutting
in
out?
here. Cutting Ave is here.
Gotta drive.
But yeah, could be
Gotta drive
good.
down by the Packagug Bridge.
This
Is it?
A Rice Road here
Rice
too.
Road, yeah.
Yep. So off of that road coming off of Packagug is Gotta Drive.
This one here,
Yeah. The senior center.
senior center. So,
So that whole parcel then is accessible from another way besides off of Packagug. Well, I mean, still off of Packagug Street, but.
right. But if you were
You
down in
don't
this
have to go down
area,
the path this recreation.
Right,
to get
right.
there.
So it would be nice to get another way in there.
I'm gonna turn this off. You can actually see the paths. Well, that's the power line using it. And you can see some of them here. Kind of come down into the power line. So,
Sewer department has their easement into there almost like same place as the power line easement, I believe.
yeah, I wish we could see it. Look at that path just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah, 'cause that's how they get to the treatment plant, right?
I thought it was just pipes, wasn't it?
The easement for the sewer, I wish we could see it. It comes right up near the diversion channel.
They had a problem there about a year ago. They
That's
had
right,
to go in
too.
there and.
And they had to reroute the sewage for a while.
Yeah,
Down to
that's where they
Harvard
were,
Street,
that's where
that's
they
right.
were working.
I forgot about that. I'd say leave it alone. Leave it.
Yes, both.
Yeah, at least for now. I think.
Both of these
Yeah,
two.
I think,
Yeah, because, you know, I just, for myself, what's left of Packagug Meadows, I'm hoping it's going to stay open space. There's only like 50 acres, 45, 50 acres left.
We've already displaced
The
a
animals.
great number of animals.
Yep.
Now, when you say that that's 55 acres or whatever,
Well, there was 80-something acres, and the Pappas Rec site started out with 28, and they took more. So I'm speculating that there's like,
okay.
that's what
But
I'm,
these parcels are not part of that, are they?
I don't know.
So these two combined to 23 acres here.
I thought
and then-
Packagug Meadows was all one parcel, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't believe that these were split recently. Let's,
So maybe they were split, but I didn't remember they were, but... I mean, I'm speculating on what's left.
this is for, yeah, the town acquired that in 1960. And the abutting one in 86.
I think 86 was when they got...
The whole thing?
Doesn't that sound right, Dan? Do you remember?
Yeah,
86.
yes.
That's what the Packagug Meadows. In 1960, that was the same...
In 60, I wasn't in Auburn. In 86,
Right.
I was here.
In 1960, that parcel, and that's the same as that other parcel that you thought maybe the Cutting Park.
Yeah, 1960.
1960.
Yeah, Pappas. Where the recreation center is cited was acquired in 86.
Right.
And the other one of these is also from 86, so
So are those cornfields privately owned still?
No,
they're not.
no,
So that's town land? Or-
it's town land, but either it's an agreement or rental or something, but the,
Okay.
They still
house
farm
there,
it.
they still can plant the corn on it
Mhm.
until the town needs it for something else. That's the agreement. When the town wants it, then cornfields are gone.
Oh,
Yeah, there's
But
an, I believe an annual
it keeps
lease.
it keeps it from growing up in brush and, you know.
Oh, no, I
and
agree.
stuff,
I mean,
Keeps it
and
open.
it also looks nice. But
Yeah.
Much better, yes.
Yeah,
But it's good to know that that whole area is connected and accessible and,
yeah,
you know, no matter what we do, as we've discovered, the parking is not sufficient at Pappas.
right, I know. Okay.
So where are we off to now?
We were off to Laurel Lane.
Oh, what about? Okay, never mind.
The Packagug and the
There's a Bancroft
Bancroft Street where they were both abutting each other.
The Bancroft Street thing is the same as the one above, okay?
Yeah, so we were looking at them
Right, we were
together.
both of them together, okay. I missed that, I guess.
Very, very odd.
So, Laurel Lane is 30.
Says Laurel Lane, but there's no lanes back here.
Excuse me.
It's just some landlocked parcels. And this is the towns back here.
Up at Jade Hill Road.
Let's get the turnpike. Jade Hill Road loops here. And this is just in the back. It was a tax taking, so the owner probably saw no value and just didn't pay the tax.
And it's landlocked?
It's landlocked.
Could open a rest stop.
Yeah, that's
That's like,
I'm not
Cheap
sure-
gas or
I'm-
something.
No, I'm not sure that's landlocked.
no.
It's,
Dr. Penny, the chiropractor, used to live down there, and I think you access it by going through one of the mobile home parks.
Wow.
I think there's a road that goes through one of the mobile home parks, and then you take a left onto Laurel Lane.
Okay. That's interesting. On the other side of the pike. Laurel Lane, Pinrock Road, Laurel Lane.
Pinrock Road.
Okay, Pinrock Road,
that's
John
the-
Selma
yeah.
kind of development over there.
Yeah, and then turn in that way.
No, I just-
That's right, because there was
So-
a house being built on Laurel Lane.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking maybe it was Laurel Street, was Laurel Lane.
Mm-hmm.
There's the diversion channel, right? There's some kind of path along the diversion channel, and there's certainly some clearing that goes back here onto town property.
And who does that, the federal government?
I don't know. Well, the diversion channel, I think, is that's state land,
That's right.
but I'm not sure whose
Wait a minute, Corps of
paths
Engineers.
these are.
Mm-hmm.
It's Corps of Engineers land, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah. They put that in. That's not, yeah. I think so, I'm pretty sure.
I like the rest area, I do.
I'm putting that in the minutes. John's rest area. Cheap gas.
You're gonna get in
They even
trouble.
pump it for you.
They'll
Any-
put it in the minutes.
Any comments?
I mean, I have to believe that the access is not there if it says landlocked.
Well,
Probably obscure or something, you know?
yeah,
They're tiny little narrow roads in behind that trailer park. You know, they're like little white
Yeah.
roads,
there's
narrow.
there are these paths and clearings to get back there, but they're certainly not roads.
How much, it's pretty small, isn't it? Yeah, they probably are dirt roads.
It's 8.5 acres.
Good size.
It's good size.
I don't know, so what do you think?
It's great open space.
Yeah.
Much you can, I don't think there's much you could do with it.
No, and weren't there, if my memory serves me correctly, weren't there quite a lot of wetlands over there?
Yes, absolutely. That is part of
The problem.
the problem.
Yeah. All right, so the recommendation is to leave it as
Leave it
open.
alone.
Open space.
I want to keep going.
Yeah, a little bit.
Couple more.
Yep. Okay. Alright. 11, 039. Okay, so looks like we've got a little bit of frontage on Iowa Drive and a little bit on Rockland Road. And it says Rockland Road Conservation Land, so I'm wondering if,
It's probably a restriction.
yeah, I'm wondering if this was an open space development and it was deeded to the land,
Deeded over,
deeded
might
to
have
the
been.
town.
Might very well have been.
Yeah, it's a good buffer for the industrial park too,
Yeah,
for
Yeah.
that neighborhood.
buffer for industrial park, right in the notes.
Oh, is it? I didn't cheat.
Wow. So we'll be leaving that alone.
Yeah. Okay.
Isn't it very steep there too? Go down.
I don't remember.
Okay, Old Common Road.
What number is that?
It's 05112.
Yeah, it's certainly a hill. It's
Yeah.
Not real steep, but it's a hill.
Because that's the industrial park.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a sliver of landlocked parcel, 5 acres, tax title. Yeah. Open space.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Bancroft Street. 5 acres. New England Power easement. Right through it. Frontage on Rice Road. Power line, the tower's going right through.
Yeah, it's just not a usable space.
Open space.
Not with those power lines.
Alright, Summer Street.
It's Sunrise Ave, isn't it?
Sunrise Ave here. You've got your houses along Sunrise Ave, and then right along the border of town. And behind the houses, we've got this parcel.
And that's got the power lines going through it.
Power lines going through it, it's landlocked. Property abutting it is privately owned.
Guess we're gonna be keeping this one too. Just the way it is.
It's just, yeah, another
Well,
tax title.
But
So,
it's got the, you said it's got the, whatchamacallits,
there's an easement that goes through it.
power lines.
And, yeah, I mean, the power lines are right there.
What it's listed as Summer Street.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the Summer Street.
Address,
I
Summer
know where
Street.
Sumner Street is. I
Right.
don't know where Summer Street is.
Summer. Doesn't exist.
No. I think it should be Sunrise.
Sunrise.
Could mention that to the assessor. Okay. Hall Street. Alright, so this runs between Route 20 and that bend in Paul Street. Behind some houses. Looks like 2.5 acres.
I didn't know Paul Street came out on Route 20.
Well, it doesn't anymore.
Oh,
Oh, did
Yeah,
you used
there's
to?
I'm not sure if it was ever connected, but it terminates at the rotary at the end, or cul-de-sac.
Isn't there a house on Route 20, Pat? A guy dealership or something?
Rockdale Auto Sales. Does that sound familiar?
There was something that used to be, might be. Or someone fixing like trucks and stuff. It was a
Yeah,
refrigeration place there.
But that's
in that
on
area.
20, that's not
It's
on,
20, yeah, but it went
but Paul
back to
Street's
Paul
behind
Street.
it, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those parcels you gotta look at and go, why
Does it exist?
didn't somebody develop that? You know, throw a couple houses in there at the time they were building that?
That's what I'm seeing, right? Andrea Ave, looks like it comes straight across, comes right down,
Usually there's good reason for that.
you know.
Look into see.
Yeah, it must not have been economically feasible for some reason. We acquired the land in 1960 for nothing.
1960, wow.
Yeah, so it's been around for a while.
Is there wetlands or ledge or something that prevent people from developing?
There might be wetlands. I'm not familiar with the area, but the grade is pretty mild.
Well, it does seem peculiar though, that it would have been given to the town for nothing at that time.
Right.
Like, why?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have open space developments back then, right?
1960.
Don't believe so.
No. So it couldn't have been for that.
Right.
Yeah, seems odd.
I think it's another one that we could ask a couple questions on that,
Investigate.
just to understand it.
Investigate
sure.
what it is, yeah.
And what if the developer just ran out of money? Maybe.
Could be.
Yeah, but if that was the case, wouldn't you think that somebody else would have scooped it up and fringed it off? You know? Almost like you said.
I mean, 1960, those were big building years,
Right.
baby boomer years.
That's
so.
when Auburn grew a lot. You know?
Yeah, it almost looks like that's what this is, you know? Just, fit as many houses as they could in there.
Yeah,
It must be like those 10,000 square foot lots.
So there it sits.
So we need to find out if there's something wrong with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the developer wasn't interested in giving these people large backyards,
Yeah.
you know, and that does seem intentional. So, we can try to dig around.
I'd just like to know whether,
Yes.
you know, I don't think it's, I don't see it as a particularly attractive piece of property for any reason, but.
No, but it is kind of a mystery.
Yeah.
Neighborhood dog park.
Put some swing sets. Do you want to keep going? You want to start? It's 8:10 or so.
I think it's,
I'm about ready to go.
yeah, I already stopped, yeah.
Alright.
It's done enough.
All right, then, well, why don't we stop with that there?
Public comment.
Well, as far as the open space plan updates, Matt had said before the meeting started, Eric, that you and he have been making some progress. Yep. And the goal is still to try to have something for us to look at by the end of the year. All right, so then public comment. Is there any public comment?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for being here.
Okay, so, the minutes from the last meeting, did anybody have any comments?
Oh, great.
I'm happy.
Yeah. Make a motion to accept
I'm
them.
very appreciative of the help from the gentleman across the table.
So I move that we accept the minutes of October 5th as presented.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Okay, and, now the next meeting, I kind of was up in the air because, I didn't know how you all felt about Thanksgiving, and our next meeting would be 2 weeks from today, which would be the 16th, which I think is the week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So, do you want to stick with the 16th, or what's your pleasure?
I'm happy to keep going at this. The only thing I need to, advise, as with the last meeting that I couldn't make, is that as the sports teams at the high school get into playoffs, there's always a chance there's going to be something on Monday night. So And if that happens, I won't be here.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, I think we should keep going because we're making great headway on this and
Yeah.
no one's done this in a long time, if ever. So,
Tonight we covered a lot of ground, so.
you know,
Yeah.
All right, so so you want to stick with the 16th? Is that agreeable with everyone?
Yeah,
That's all right.
Okay.
There's still time between that and Thanksgiving.
Okay.
yes.
Now, all right, now, if we stick with the first, I'm just trying to think ahead, the first Monday in December, do you guys know what the date is? I'm gonna be gone from the week of the 14th. I'm gonna be away, so if that's a meeting, if that's the third,
Let's see.
I'm trying to think.
December.
I think that's the
7th.
second Monday.
yeah. So we meet on the 7th is the planned meeting and that should be okay.
Yeah, and then the 21st we won't meet.
No,
No, isn't that Christmas week?
Yeah. But, yeah, I think we're okay.
And time for the 16th? We've got
6:30?
several times.
I'm fine with that.
Yes.
6:30. The only reason I asked for 7 tonight was because I came here, Louise picked me up at work. I had a work commitment after work. So I was afraid that I wouldn't get here in time.
Okay.
Traffic and stuff.
Well, the event didn't, I left as they were sitting down to eat, so it is what it is. So that's why I, really couldn't. All right, so then we'll do that. So we'll meet on November 16th at 6:30. Is there anything else?
Yes. Did you get about having someone in the tax write-off do our minutes?
No, I didn't.
I'm just wondering. Let's see.
I didn't, and I'll tell you why. In order to get credit, they have to put in at least, I'm trying to think, 125 hours
Okay.
within a certain period of time, within a few months. And there's no way you're gonna get
No.
125 hours in for this. You know what I mean? Because you get credit for $8 and you get, well, maybe now it's $9 an hour because minimum wage is 9. So when it was 8, they could work 125 hours because they could have $1,000 off their tax bill. So you couldn't
Okay.
earn more than $1,000 as long as there was sufficient money and not more applicants than there was money to. The maximum you can have is $1,000 credit. So if we had $20,000 and 20 people, then you can earn the whole $1,000. If there was $20,000 and you had 30 people that applied, then you have to,
Yeah.
right.
I'm just wondering.
So, but that's why I didn't, because I just knew that we wouldn't have enough hours.
But if it was bundled with other committees
Yeah, I suppose.
or maybe
Or
even in
tasks.
another department, I know that there's some people working with the town clerk's office. I think there's a couple of people.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other senior center maybe or something, but.
Yeah, when I was at the senior center for my program, I did the senior tax work-off program, and I had some people here helping in the planning department. I had some people in the assessor's office
Truly,
helping out.
although honestly, Dan does a great job.
Yeah,
Yes, he does.
he does an awesome job. I just thought he's almost.
He's free help. Good. He's good help. He's very diligent.
Julie did just mention that there is volunteer availability. I think it was through the housing authority. Some folks at the housing authority that need to do volunteer time. So she sent out an email asking if the departments had any need for volunteers. If,
But, I mean, I think it's,
To look into it.
there's nothing is wrong with looking into it, but we do have to understand that a person, you just can't grab a person off the street and do minutes. It's tough.
It is still right. It's a technical
And
skill.
there may be people that have that skill, I don't know.
Anything else? All right.
Good.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Opposed? So voted. Thank you all very much.